Hello, in this video, we're going to be talking about manipulating a single data frame. So we already talked about what a tidy data is. So now we're going to be looking at how we can do some transformation in a data frame. So here, we're going to be using the dplyr package, which is already included in tidyverse. So the functions in this package can be used for manipulating, sorting, and summarizing data frame, and actually some more things, but in this video, we are focusing more on sorting, summarizing, and similar functions that can be used to manipulate the data frame. The first function we're going to be looking at is the filter function, and this function is used to choose specific rule. So for instance, looking at this models data set, so here, as you can see in here, so we have, so here I have head models. So the head always show like the first 6 rows. So it's just to usually used to have an idea of what's in the data set. So the filter function is used to choose specific rows. So for instance, maybe I want to choose rows that have certain properties, like maybe, okay, I want the rows that have the total to be less than or equals to 10. So I will use the filter function. So an example of how that will be used is going to be, I'll call the filter. Then if I'm not using pipe, if I'm not piping in the data set, so the first part is to call the models, the data. So the models, then I'll say, okay, I just want you to show me totals that are less than or equals to 10. So I'll say total less than or equals to 10. And this function, it will go into the models data set and pick out only the rows in which the total is less than or equals to 10. So that's what the filter function does. Another function is the select function. This is used to show certain columns. Like for instance, in this data set, if I don't want to show all the columns, maybe I'm only interested in seeing the population, then I will use the select function. So similarly, I'll say select. So I'll call in the data, in this case, models. And then I'll say, okay, just want to see the population. And then that will just show me only this population column. Or if I want to see the population and total, I'll put a comma and then include total, then it will show me the population and the total column. So that is what the select function does. And another function is the mutate function. So see, the mutate function is used to add column. So one of the examples you see in the textbook is adding the rate. So in the case of, I'll call the mutate function, mutate, then I'll include my data, which in this case is murders. So I'll include the data here, then the new column that I want it to show. So for instance, I can say rate equals, so this is the new column, and then how it's going to compute that rate column. So that's going to be total divided by population times 100,000. So, and then that will create an additional column for rates. And then the other function is the arrange. So that's just used to reorder rows. So for instance, I can tell it to reorder the rows by the rate column or by the total column. So it just arrange it from the smallest to the largest. Then summarize, it reduces the variable to a value. So for instance, if I want to find the mean population, I will just use summarize function, then tell it to give me the mean of the population or the mean of the total. And then, or if I'm interested in the standard deviation as well, the summarize function can do that. And then the last function we're going to talk about here is the group by function. The group by function is usually used together with summarize function. So it just group by a particular column. So I'll just say, so group by, so I have the data, since I'm not piping in the data, so borders, and then I'll say group by region. Let's assume we want to group it by region. So if I group by region, it's group it by region, South region, the West region, that's this column here. And then it can be used in conjunction with the summarize function, and I say, okay, summarize the average or the mean of the population. So in that case, if I use this after grouping by, so let me use pipe here, and then I will now say summarize. So the mean, so let's say we want to find the mean of the population. Let's use total or the total. Then it will now give me the mean for the total of each of the regions. So for the South region, it will give me the mean. For the West region, it will give me the mean. And that's because I already used a group by function. So that's how the group by function can be used together with the summarize function. So that's the part of the dplyr package that we use in manipulating or transforming a single data frame. So there are also some other functions in dplyr, and we're going to talk about some of them later, but that's where we're going to stop for now. In the next video, we're going to talk about joining and reshaping data. So thank you. Please reach out to me if you have any question. Thank you.